Biological attacks are a serious threat to global security. They involve the deliberate release of harmful biological agents. These agents can cause disease and death in humans, animals, or plants. The goal of a biological attack is to spread fear and disruption. Attacks can lead to illness, death, and economic damage. It is crucial to understand the nature of biological attacks and how to prepare for them. Biological weapons are often called the poor man's nuclear bomb. This is because they are relatively easy and inexpensive to produce. Some biological agents can be found in nature. Others can be made with basic laboratory equipment. This accessibility makes biological weapons a serious concern for governments around the world. The effects of a biological attack can be devastating. Some biological agents are highly contagious and can spread rapidly through the air, water, or food supply. Others are less contagious but can cause severe illness or death. The symptoms of a biological attack may not be immediately apparent. This delay can make it difficult to contain an outbreak. The threat of biological attacks is real and growing. Terrorist groups and rogue states may seek to acquire and use biological weapons. The increasing availability of biological materials and technology makes this threat even more serious. International cooperation is essential to prevent biological attacks and to prepare for the possibility of an attack. Section 2. Agents of biological warfare. Biological agents are living organisms or toxins that can be used as weapons. They can be categorized into several types, including bacteria, viruses, fungi, and toxins. Each type of agent has unique characteristics that determine its potential for use as a weapon. Bacteria are single-celled organisms that can cause a variety of diseases. Some bacteria, such as anthrax and plague, are highly deadly. Others, such as brucellosis and tularemia, cause debilitating illnesses. Bacteria can be spread through the air, water, or food. They can also be spread through contact with infected animals or people. Viruses are even smaller than bacteria and are not considered living organisms. They are essentially packets of genetic material that require a host cell to replicate. Viruses can cause a wide range of diseases, from the common cold to deadly hemorrhagic fevers like Ebola. Smallpox is another highly contagious and deadly virus that has been used as a biological weapon in the past. Fungi are a diverse group of organisms that include molds, yeasts, and mushrooms. Some fungi can cause diseases in humans, animals, or plants. For example, the fungus Coccidioides immitis causes the disease coccidioidomycosis, also known as valley fever. While not as commonly used as other biological agents, fungi can pose a threat to agriculture and human health. Toxins are poisonous substances produced by living organisms. Some toxins, such as botulinum toxin and ricin, are extremely deadly. Botulinum toxin, produced by the bacterium Clostridium botulinum, is one of the most potent toxins known. Ricin, derived from the castor bean plant, is another highly toxic substance that can be fatal if inhaled or ingested. Section 3. Historical examples of biological warfare. Biological warfare has a long and disturbing history dating back to ancient times. Throughout history, various cultures and civilizations have used biological agents to gain an advantage over their enemies. From poisoning wells to catapulting plague-infected corpses, the methods used have been as gruesome as they have been effective. One of the earliest recorded instances of biological warfare dates back to the 6th century BC. During the siege of Kira, the Greeks poisoned the city's water supply with hellebore, a poisonous plant. This act weakened the defenders and allowed the Greeks to conquer the city. In the Middle Ages, the bubonic plague, also known as the Black Death, ravaged Europe and wiped out a significant portion of the population. While the plague was primarily spread by rats and fleas, there are accounts of armies deliberately using plague-infected corpses as weapons. The 18th century saw the use of smallpox as a biological weapon. British forces in North America gave blankets contaminated with smallpox to Native Americans. This act, intended to weaken the indigenous population, had devastating consequences, leading to widespread outbreaks and death. During World War I, Germany launched a biological sabotage campaign using anthrax and glanders to infect livestock in several countries. While this campaign did not achieve its intended strategic goals, it demonstrated the potential of biological weapons to disrupt economies and sow fear. In more recent history, the 2001 Anthrax attacks in the United States highlighted the threat of bioterrorism. Letters containing anthrax spores were mailed to several media outlets and government offices, resulting in 5 deaths and causing widespread panic. The perpetrator was never identified, but the attacks served as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of modern societies to biological attacks. Section 4. International Cooperation and Preparedness. The threat of biological attacks is a global concern that requires international cooperation to address effectively. The development, production, and stockpiling of biological weapons are prohibited under international law, particularly the Biological Weapons Convention, BWC, of 1972. The BWC, ratified by over 180 countries, aims to prevent the proliferation of these deadly weapons. Despite the BWC, concerns remain about the potential use of biological weapons by state and non-state actors. The rise of biotechnology and the increasing accessibility of dangerous pathogens make it imperative for nations to work together to strengthen global biosecurity. This cooperation includes sharing information, intelligence, and best practices to prevent the development and acquisition of biological weapons. Preparedness is crucial in mitigating the impact of a biological attack. This involves developing robust public health infrastructure, including disease surveillance systems, laboratories capable of identifying biological agents, and stockpiles of medical countermeasures, such as vaccines and antidotes. Equally important is the training of first responders, healthcare workers, and law enforcement agencies to effectively respond to a biological attack. Public awareness and education are also essential components of preparedness. Educating the public about the risks of biological attacks, the symptoms of exposure, and the steps to take in case of an attack can save lives. Building resilience within communities through public health campaigns and community engagement programs can strengthen societal response and minimize panic during a crisis. In conclusion, biological attacks pose a serious threat to global security, and addressing this threat requires a multifaceted approach that emphasizes international cooperation, preparedness, and public awareness. By working together, nations can mitigate the risk of biological attacks and build a safer world. The COVID-19 pandemic shook the world. It brought sickness, death, and economic turmoil. One of the biggest questions remains: where did this virus come from? 2 main theories emerge. The first theory suggests a natural origin. Scientists believe the virus jumped from bats to humans. This is similar to how other viruses like SARS emerged. The second theory is more controversial. It proposes that the virus leaked from a laboratory in Wuhan, China. This lab, the Wuhan Institute of Virology, studies coronaviruses. Some people believe the virus was accidentally released during research. Others go further, suggesting it was intentionally created as a bioweapon. The scientific community continues to debate these theories. There is no definitive proof for either scenario. Some evidence points to a natural origin. For example, similar viruses exist in bats found in Southeast Asia. However, no direct link to the pandemic strain has been found. The lack of transparency from the Chinese government fuels suspicion about a lab leak. However, without concrete evidence, the lab leak theory remains speculation. The true origin of COVID-19 may remain a mystery for years to come. Intelligence agencies worldwide were tasked with investigating the origins of COVID-19. Their role was crucial in uncovering the truth behind the pandemic's start. Initially, many intelligence agencies leaned towards the natural origin theory. This was based on early information about the virus and its similarities to other coronaviruses. However, as the pandemic progressed, doubts began to surface. The lack of transparency from China raised concerns. Some intelligence agencies, like the CIA, began to shift their stance. They now believe a lab leak is the more likely scenario. This is based on intelligence gathered on the Wuhan Institute of Virology and its research activities. Despite this shift, there is still no consensus among intelligence agencies. Some agencies, particularly in the US, remain divided on the issue. The lack of concrete evidence makes it difficult to reach a definitive conclusion. The investigation into COVID-19's origins highlights the challenges of intelligence gathering in the 21st century. The COVID-19 pandemic highlighted the devastating potential of bioweapons. For India, this threat hits close to home. The country faces geopolitical tensions with its neighbors, some of whom have a history of bioweapons programs. India has been proactive in strengthening its defenses against bioterrorism. One crucial step has been enhancing disease surveillance. India's Integrated Disease Surveillance Programme, or IDSP, plays a vital role in this effort. The IDSP monitors disease outbreaks across the country. It allows for early detection and rapid response to potential threats. India has also invested heavily in upgrading its laboratory infrastructure. This includes building high-security biosafety level 3 and 4 labs. These labs are equipped to handle dangerous pathogens safely. India recognizes that preparedness is key to mitigating the impact of bioterrorism. The country has developed national and state-level emergency response plans. These plans outline procedures for coordinating a swift and effective response to a bioterror attack. India also maintains a stockpile of essential medicines and vaccines. This ensures that the country is prepared to treat a large number of people in the event of a bioterrorist attack. The threat of bioterrorism is not confined to any one nation. It is a global challenge that requires a coordinated global response. International cooperation is essential to preventing the misuse of biological weapons. The Biological and Toxin Weapons Convention, or BTWC, forms the cornerstone of this global effort. The BTWC is an international treaty that bans the development, production, and stockpiling of biological weapons. It is vital to strengthen the BTWC and ensure its full implementation by all countries. Global efforts to deter bioterrorism focus on several key areas. Intelligence sharing is crucial. By sharing information about potential threats, countries can better anticipate and prevent attacks. Rapid detection of outbreaks is also vital. This requires sophisticated surveillance systems and laboratory capacity. The international community must work together to develop standardized pathogen analysis techniques. This will allow for quicker identification of bioweapons and tracing their origins. The fight against bioterrorism is a continuous process. It requires sustained commitment and investment from all nations. By working together, we can make the world a safer place from this terrifying threat.